Welcome to the inaugural broadcast of Town Square Tales, stories from Jefferson County, Alabama. In this series, we'll examine the folklore, tall tales, infamous people, riveting court cases, and lesser-known nuggets of history that make Jefferson County so fascinating. On today's episode, we'll cover the story of the Blossburg Bluffer. Was he Bigfoot, a wild cat, or a mistreated dog gone mad? Let's find out. The hills of Appalachia are rich with stories and myths passed down through the generations. Each community has its own folklore and storytellers. A quick search reveals that every state has its share of ghost stories and legends, and Alabama is no exception. Catherine Tucker Wyndham, Alabama's renowned storyteller, began documenting this folklore with her 1969 book, 13 Ghosts in Jeffrey. Nearly every elementary school child in Alabama has read it and been captivated by it. Wyndham's stories, spanning 7 volumes in all, have become a cherished part of campfire tales and sleepovers, enchanting generations of Alabamians. Wyndham popularized various stories, but many folk tales of unexplained phenomena and ghosts also exist. One notable tale features the gauzy apparition of a woman in white who wanders the Bayview Bridge looking for her lost child. Another recounts the ghost of a Sloss Furnace supervisor who died when he fell, or was he pushed, into a cauldron of molten iron. Additionally, there are reports of a cryptid resembling a hairy ape man known as Bigfoot in the West, Yeti elsewhere, and the Alabama White Thang in Alabama. Descriptions vary, including an albino Bigfoot, but all accounts mention the same haunting, distressing scream. Whatever these creatures are, whether real or a profound product of the imagination, they are a part of the public consciousness, and people swear to the fact that they've encountered these beings. Today I'm going to introduce you to the story of the Blossburg Bluffer, who for generations has been talked about in the coal mining towns of western Jefferson County. Blossburg, a wild mining town established on Christmas Eve 1889, was located in western Jefferson County along Prude's Creek. Once a vibrant community with doctors' offices, saloons, grocery stores, a school, churches, and notably coal mines, it had 150 coke ovens and employed 600 miners by 1890. The area was known for its rough atmosphere, with local newspapers frequently covering the violence, mainly linked to labor disputes, but not always. By the 1950s, Blossburg's heyday had passed. The mines were closed and most residents had left for other jobs. Since the coal mining era, the town rarely made headlines, except for fraternal meetings and church events. However, for 3 weeks in the fall of 1947, Blossburg garnered unusual attention in the news. The story of the Blossburg Bluffer first appeared in the Birmingham News on September 23, 1947. Residents of the tiny former coal mining town reported that the mysterious creature had first appeared the previous Tuesday, September 18th. Descriptions of the being referred to it as a large white animal, and reports noted that its tracks were too big to be real. The newspaper couldn't resist reporting on the fantastical tale from Blossburg and sent a reporter and photographer to capture the evidence. The Birmingham News published a picture of large tracks reported by residents to be 5-toed and 6 inches across. They found these tracks traveling down Main Street. Sam Billingsley, a local druggist and community leader, described the tracks as, quote, a lot bigger than a wildcat's or even a bear's. Resident Pearl Kittle had first spotted the unusual creature on Thursday the 18th, describing it as a, quote, big white shape with a deep growl. She reckoned that it looked like a bear, quote, and yet it doesn't look like a bear. She dispatched her dog Chief to investigate, but the poor animal was so frightened that he hid under a chair and refused the order. Charlie Graham described a frightening encounter while walking home after a date. He approached the bridge going into Blossburg and heard a rustling in the brush and saw a large creature step into the road. I threw a rock and missed, he said. Terrified, he ran, but the creature chased him. It ran pretty brisk. It was big, grayish-white, What it looked like, I don't exactly know, Charlie told reporters. Otis Powell claimed his hound was so scared from its encounter with the creature that it ran through a screen door, only to collapse and die from an alleged bite from the animal. Locals named the monster the Blossburg Bluffer because it had buffaloed all of the locals and their animals. One Saturday night, a Blossburg resident saw her dog running toward her and recalled, "My Lord, there's that thing come after my dogs." Mrs. Pledger described the bluffer as having a, quote, thick rump like a hog, a long slender face, and pointed ears, going woof woof like a pig, but deep in its throat. Despite the fear it inspired, the creature approached her steps, and with confidence, Mrs. Pledger told it to get, which it promptly did. She was clearly not intimidated by the bluffer, like her poor dogs. By October, the situation in Blossburg had escalated, as the local newspaper chronicled the exploits of the bluffer. Al Truck of Birmingham organized a posse to hunt the creature, but after 2 weeks they found no trace. Residents speculated wildly, suggesting it could be anything from an elephant to a giraffe to a bear, and most plausibly, a man with a giant hand leaving prints in the dirt. Druggist Billingsley proposed that the bluffer might actually be a large, displaced Great Dane, who had come from a local shopkeeper who had kicked the Great Dane out of his store. This dog certainly fit the description at a hefty 250 pounds. Was that the last of the Blossburg Bluffer? While there have been no newspaper reports of sightings since 1947, there were similar encounters during the Bigfoot craze in 1975, including a creature near Trussville that killed a horse and a hog. It was described as brown and weighing 150 pounds. In 1978, near East Bruton, witnesses reported a creature 7 feet tall, 400 pounds, with solid red eyes and making a sound like a woman screaming. Additionally, in 2000, a sighting near Gunnersville State Park described the creature as resembling a giant albino tiger. Could this be the Blossburg Bluffer or the Alabama White Thang? Are they one and the same? The Blossburg Bluffer and the Alabama White Thang are intriguing figures in Alabama folklore. Have you spotted either of them? Share in the comments. If you like this video and want more local history, please like and subscribe. Thanks for watching.